Hey everyone, Noobs Jenny here. Thought I'd give you guys an update. I'm getting ready for a tournament, so I thought I'd get the last few purchases for my Germans slash just stuff that I thought would be fun that I could run in a ladder tournament. So I thought I'd give you guys an update on some purchases that I made recently. So these are all of them. It's quite a few. So this is sort of an unboxing of sorts. So I got these guys. The Fallschirmjäger Assault Rifle Platoon. These guys are floating around in Bulge. They're pretty good. They easily hit, but they can dump out a huge amount of shots. They're in a support unit. And they are in one of the formations. They are in a King Tiger unit company thing that you can build. So that's why I got these, the King Tigers. King Tigers are really good, particularly the SS ones. They're 31 points for 2, so they're quite cheap. I think it's 47 points for 3. They are really good. They are really good because I think they're. I think they have. What was it? They've got like really good. They've got very good motivation, and they are hit on 3s though, which is a bit of a problem. But the thing is that because your vehicles are so very heavily armored, it's kind of offset. The thing that I would suggest, and I have played with my King Tigers before, they will suffer if you have to come across any ambushes, particularly with archers or 17 pounders or something that can dump out really high 80 17 shots or something like that. If they go into the side of one of these, it's not going to be pretty, and that's 17 to 16 points of tank that's up in the horizon, just gone poof. In the list that I was running, I've also got a use for these guys, and I've never dealt with these before. I've never built these models before. Never used them, but these are them here. The SDKFZ Scout Troop. These are really cheap. They're 1 or 2 points for a unit of 3. They give you spearhead. They can help you out in other ways. There are 3 models for a point, so it makes your formation just that little bit harder to break up. Then, from what I've seen here, they're really nice. They'll be relatively effective, I would imagine, and they're cheap. They're really, really, really cheap. And now we get to like where this is definitely a luxury purchase. I do not know how often I am ever going to run these, and you have to get really lucky to run them. But here, if I can get it out without spoiling anything, here we go. Oh, what's in that box? It's packed by C22, and that would be these Me-262 fighter bombers. These are 10 points per model. They are 10 points per model, so they are expensive. They are very pricey. And they are hard to hit because they're jets. They're hit on 6s. They're not as hard to kill. Okay, that's pretty cool. So, this is them here. This is it here. It's relatively nice. Bit of resin. Doesn't seem like it's going to require a huge amount of work. They are... I don't know how good they'll be. I really do not know. But what I do know is that they are quite expensive. I think there'll be a unit that will be. I think they'll be handy, but I don't think it would be safe to build a whole list around ME262s. The reason being is that aircraft are fickle. They're kind of an artillery strike that's on the board. That isn't on the board, sorry. The thing is that if you're dealing, say, with if you've got your Hummels are 12 points. If Hummels die, obviously, but they'll die. But in the meantime, the Hummels will be on the board and they'll be sitting around having a couple of laughs as they shell your opponent. These are going to be intermittently coming in, and that's where the problem lies. They are very good, but they will suffer if you're going to be wasting points if you fail to bring them onto the table. The things that they're good at, they do have access to bombs. Sorry about the rogue finger. They do have access to bombs. They do have access to bombs, which is nice, and I think they have access to cannons as well. So, they're all right in a pinch. Their speed is their strength. So, they're not like the Sturmovik, which has flying tank. So they've got an extra 4+ save floating around somehow. I can't remember how it works. These guys are hit on 6s. And I would imagine these guys would be really good against the Germans. And the reason why I say that is, it sounds a bit weird, but Germans have decent AA. The problem is that they don't have a lot of AA. Their tanks don't have AA. They don't have machine guns on the back. Their half-tracks have AA. But if these guys go up against, say, some of the Allied vehicles with their AA, they're going to start to see they might get... If you put these into the wrong targets that are backed up by the wrong things, they will die. And now we're kind of getting into the more simple bit of this all. So these are the SDKFZ... These are the SDKFZ 251s. So this is an interesting kit because it covers a mortar team, mortar team, and a Stummel. And you can also build these as regular half tracks. So the Stummel, the reason why I got 2 boxes is I'm going to build one of these, 1 unit of 4, and 1 unit of 4. Stummels, I've come across them. One of the people that plays in our group that plays Flames has Stummels, and I bought some because of that, because I'm going to be running some in the tournament. Stummels are very, very handy. They are a howitzer, so they fire a tank-style kind of round. Obviously, I don't 100% know what kind of shell it is, but what I do know is that they're very good at killing infantry. So if you have a unit of 4 of these in their stationary or whatever, or 6, I think you can get, they start off in, I can't remember how many you can get in a unit, but they come in units of 2 to begin with, then to 4, and then I think to 6. They have 2 shots apiece. 2 shots apiece doesn't sound like much. Their anti-tank 9 doesn't sound like much, but they have a 3+ firepower. And why that's really good is that if there are infantry that are dug in, that is, I think, let's just say that's 6 shots against infantry, some will miss, but more importantly, you're going to have to do firepower. And one of the guys in the group that I was playing with, he had his Panzer IVs and he started shooting at infantry. Infantry and Flames are very difficult to get rid of. They have very, very good saves. So what the problem is that you are going to be hitting them with a lot of machine gun shots. Quantity will make sure that they're all hit. The problem is that you want the infantry dead. And then that's where the problem with the machine guns comes in. Is that's a 5+ save. I mean, a 5+ firepower check. That's a 1 in 3 chance that goes off. With these guys, that's 6 shots, and then you have, I think it's what, a 2 in 3 chance that the infantry fail that save, which is not bad at all. Those are decent odds. Yeah, 3 and 6. No, we're not threes. So that is 4 and 6. Yeah, 2 and 3 chance. So that's really good. The mortars, they don't do a lot of damage. They don't do much at all. Mortars are really good at, these ones are in half tracks, so they can move around quite a bit, and they've got a decent amount of armor floating around. So that gives them a bit of survivability. What mortars are really good at is pinning infantry, and if you're playing an army like in Bulge, one particular list, say the SS Panzer Grenadiers, these guys are pretty good at basically giving covering fire to the infantry that need to charge in. They assault on 2s or 3s, which is very high. So that makes their pathway to assault a lot easier. And on top of the fact that you can get Vespers that have smoke, this is going to make them so much more effective at getting your infantry and getting them in close, which is really what you want to be doing with an aggressive army like those Panzer Grenadiers. They can afford, they make your army more of, it makes them easier to be aggressive. So that's why I got them. I'm looking forward to building these guys. I've already built 2 of them. I really had a good time building them. They're quite a fun model. You get 3 in a box, which is nice. They're not too bad. They're big. Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about German tanks. These guys have, I think they've got a top armor of 2. They've got a decent big gun. I was thinking about it the other day too. Is the Germans don't really get assault tanks. The British and the British do, the Russians do, the Germans don't. I don't think you would be wanting to assault these guys into infantry. I think these guys would get smacked around. I think what you've really got to do with German infantry that are good in assaults is Germans are good, but they are quite fiddly. You need to do a series of things before you can do your assault. The Russians, they can kind of wing it. Germans, no. You oftentimes won't have the numbers for you to effectively go in and start, just like totaling opposing infantry teams. You just need to come up with a bit of preparation before you do it. What are Tiger 2s? Where are Tiger 2s a good fit? So there is a veteran unit of these guys. I don't think I would ever run it. I think the standard game of Flames is 100 points. The unit that these live in, for the veteran option, I think if you get all of it at max strength, is over 100 points. So there is no way you're running that list with these guys. No. I think Tiger 2's best home is with terrible infantry. That is where the Tiger 2 shines. They love being with terrible, shitty infantry. These guys would find a really good home in the Berlin book, which they live, and also Bulge. They're really good with Volksgrenadiers, because Volksgrenadiers are cheap and they're not good, but you can get these guys very easily, and they would be good choice for them, because the thing with Volksgrenadiers is that Volksgrenadiers, they're reluctant. They're 5+ motivation, not great, and a 4+, I think, last stand. They're hit on 3, so they're aggressive. There are command cards to make them better, apparently, but these guys fit right in to their army, quite into that company as well. They're relatively well costed, and they provide your army with a lot of anti-tank. Volksgrenadier anti-tank options are kind of minimal, and these guys have got decent hitting power. I mean, I wouldn't say so. Like, they have access to Pack 40s, hit on 3s, saving on 3s. That anti-tank gun that they have, that's also an artillery piece, that might be okay. But these guys would definitely find a home alongside Volksgrenadiers. Because I think 31 points for 2 of these is quite reasonable. And then maybe you could run 3 with some finagling and have 3 of them running around. They could do some serious damage. I think they're 18, 14 plus. So I think 17 it is. So these guys could really do a number on opposing allied armor very easily. And I think that would be quite scary and terrifying too. The thing is, though, is like archers are going to be your nemesis. Artillery things that can swoop around the side to shoot these guys on the side, not a good look. They are hit on 3s, so they are going to be easily knocked out. But, hey, look, I think if you're doing Bulge, sorry, it's late here. If you're doing Bulge or you're doing Berlin, I think you can't go wrong with Tiger 2s. You can go wrong with them very easily. But in terms of a selection for a list, I think that if you iron out the kinks in terms of what works and what doesn't work, they're a solid choice. I think you need to look at how much you're paying for them, because I think it's easy to pay too much, and it's also you can easily pay too little. So I think that you gotta find the right balance. But that's like most things, I suppose. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon. I've got a tournament coming up, so I'm going to be working on these guys. These guys won't be in my tournament list. The ME262s. The 250 scout troops is these guys are the King Tigers were just good for a laugh. The same with the Fallschirmjäger, different story again. So I'm going to be in a couple of weeks I'm going to be working on that stuff. I'll give you guys an update on how everything's going, and I will talk to you soon, and I will catch you later. Bye.